Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome here if you are new. I'm Manganet and I do book related content. On today's video we are here for our second installment of my TBR game, which still doesn't have a name, but it's this game that I created last month and I play it with my friend that I now know. It's called Pascal. Thank you for everyone who let me know that on my previous video. This is my TBR game. If you have any suggestions for what this could be called, please let me know in the comments. This is going to be the second time I'm playing this game. I'm going to leave the link for the first edition here in the cards, and in that video I went over all the rules, so I'm not gonna explain how it works all over again. Let's start by talking about what happened with my September TBR. If you saw the previous video, you saw that I had these 4 books to read. Oh my god, this book is so like soft that the other one slides on top. Anyway, I had these 4 books to read, which was very achievable. I mean, 4 books in a month, it's 1 book a week. Who cannot do that? I started reading this one and I was so disappointed. I ended up DNFing it at page 68. I was just not in the story at all. Like, I didn't even know who the characters were. The writing style was making it very confusing as well. I don't know, I just didn't think it was the most pleasurable reading. But I was very disappointed, purely because this is one of those big fluffy paperbacks. So just because of that, I wanted to love the book. But this was a DNF for me. And then next up, I started reading The Flight by Julie Clark. And I was loving this book, but then I haven't picked it up in the last 2 weeks. So this was all I read during the entire month of September. I'm only on page 116 of this book. That, honestly, I was loving, and I was very intrigued with the story, and I definitely wanted to know what was happening. But, my dudes, in September, for some reason, I started rewatching Grey's Anatomy. Yes, I don't know why I did that, but I did. I'm currently on season 9, I think, like at the very end of season 9, question mark. But basically, in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks perhaps, I've watched almost 5 entire seasons of Grey's Anatomy. And that's all I've been doing with my spare time. Usually I would listen to audiobooks while I was cooking or in bed while I was making thumbnails or something, but I haven't made any videos, so there's no thumbnails to be done. And whenever I'm cooking, I just put my phone in the corner and I watch Grey's Anatomy, and when I'm eating dinner, I watch Grey's Anatomy, and throughout the day, if I have nothing to do, I watch Grey's Anatomy. I haven't picked up a book in ages. And I thought about not recording a TBR game for October because honestly I'm not in the mood to read. I'm just really enjoying my time watching Grey's Anatomy and just binge watching a TV series. It's been months since I've done that and I'm really enjoying myself. But at the same time, the game is fun. I created it last month. It's only the second installment, so I don't really want to fail straight away, so I'm gonna play the game. But I'm not going to make any promises that I'm actually going to complete the game. I'm just gonna draw a TBR and then whatever happens, happens. These 2 books obviously didn't get read, and last month when I did the first round I said I still didn't have a penalization thought of what could happen if I didn't finish the TBR, and I have now decided that if I don't finish the TBR, I think initially I said I was gonna tally them and after 3 times I would have to unhaul them, but that was like picking the book 3 times. So I'm doing similar to that, but not exactly the same. What I'm doing is that they go back on the TBR for the following month and I have to read them, and if I don't read them they go again for the 3rd month. After the 3rd month, then I have to unhaul any books that are pending. So these are going for round 2 of the TBR, which means that my TBR for October starts with these 2 straight away, and whatever else I get from here. I also mentioned that in the beginning of each month when I'm preparing the rounds, that's when I add my papers for the books that came to my house during that month. And my dudes, there's quite a few. September was a good month in terms of books. There was a huge unhaul video here on the channel, check it out. And most of these books, if not all of them, came from that video. So I'm gonna fold all of these in little rolls and I'm gonna add them to my jar. If you haven't watched last month's video yet, go do it now so you know the rules for everything, and then we're gonna start playing. Oh, I also added some new prompts, and the ones that I got last month, both on the wildcards and on the prompt, I kept the papers, they're here on the side, but I didn't put them back in just to make sure that I don't get the same things twice in a row, 2 months in a row. But after this month, those go back in the pile and I'll keep the ones that come out this month out of the pile for next month. You know what I mean. Okay, let me roll these and I'll come back to you in the next few minutes and we're gonna start playing. We're ready to go. I have the jar with all the books that I have on my shelf, and I just added the new ones for this month. And now we're gonna go to the board and do the first dice, roll of a dice. Let's just go. My friend Pascal is ready to go. On the first roll, we start off the board and we roll 1 dice and then 2 dice from there on. So let's go, and I roll my dices here.
You rolled 4.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is a wild card. I've already shuffled these, by the way. Wild card. Free card! Okay, so nothing happens in this card. Literally nothing happens. Let's roll again.
You rolled 5 and 6 for a total of 11.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, it's another wild card. Take away dinner on day and then random number generator. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 31.
Here's a random number, 14.
So this means that on the 14th of October, we'll be having takeaway. Okay, let's roll again.
It's 3 and 1 for a total of 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, and red is book luck. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go for this one. First book on my TBR this month will be okay, Girl in the Walls, and this is a thriller. Here it is. It's this book, Girl in the Walls by A.J. Gnus. She doesn't exist. She can't exist. It's a ghost story of a girl in the wall.
You got 4 and 5. That makes 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's red again, which means another book luck. This one. Second book of the TBR this month will be my favorite, Half Night Stand. So a cheesy romance from the duo Christina Lauren. Here it is. I'm not too sure what this is about, but of course I'm hyped to read Christina Lauren as always. So let's go. Also, we already moved past the dark hole, which means there's no going back to the beginning. Let's roll again.
You got 1 and 3. That makes 4.
Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is a star, and a star means it's a free space. Nothing happens, we just roll again.
You got 6 and 1. That makes 7.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Book luck. Here we go again. There's one. Third book of this TBR. Don't Wake Up. It's this one. It's by Liz Lawler. And I don't know what the universe is trying to tell me, but you know how my bookshelves are not organized. Everything is just mixed. There's literally no order. Things just are where they are. But this book was right next to this one on my shelves. Anyway, this is the third book of my TBR. So let's go. Now, obviously, I would roll again, but it's going to be the last roll of the game anyway, so I'm not going to roll, I'm just going to move there. And on the last space, we get a random number between 1 and 4, and then we follow the colors. Pick a number between 1 and 4.
Here's a random number, 3.
So 3 is red one, again, which means another book luck. So all my books this month were chose with this jar. Okay, that's fine. There's one. Let's see what the last book of the TBR is for this month. What is this? Oh, it's right here. Oh my god, it's... Okay, hold on. One thing at a time. It's The Gone Dead. And this is an arc that I got at BookCon in New York with Philippa in... Which year did we go? Like 2018? Yeah, probably, because the release date of this was June 2019. And it was an arc. I don't know what this is about. Okay, I'm gonna read the synopsis at the back and decide if I want to read this or not, because I do have a rule that if I don't want to read a book that gets allocated to me, I can and haul it straight away and just pick another one. So bear with me, let's find out what this is about. I'm not too impressed, not gonna lie. Let me see if there's an audiobook for this. Okay, I can't find an audiobook for this, and I'm definitely not gonna read it without an audiobook. And the synopsis at the back didn't seem that interesting, so I think I'm just gonna unhaul this right away, give it to a charity shop, and let's pick another book from the jar. Here we go again. This one. Okay, here we go again. Winter Garden. I think this is by... oh, what's that lady called? Christine Hanna. Is it by Christine Hanna? Hold on. Winter Garden. And it is indeed by Christine Hanna. Can a woman really know herself if she doesn't know her mother? Let me check if there's an audiobook for this, because again, if there isn't, I don't want to read it. Okay, there is. It's 14 hours and 38 minutes. Jesus. I'm just gonna double check this is not like part of a series, or if it is, if it's the number one. Just because I know that Christine Hanna has some duologies, and obviously I don't want to read the number two. But if it's the number two, I'll just see which one is the number one and I'll read that instead. No, seems to be a standalone. Now the question is, do I want to read it? Okay, so I was not very intrigued, but then there's a sentence here that says, a captivating, mysterious love story that spans 65 years and moves from frozen, war-torn Lincoln to modern-day Alaska. So, two things in this sentence that I was like, okay, I'll read it, which is spans from 65 years, because if you don't know, let me tell you, I love books that are like the life of a character, and it's many years, and you can see the changes throughout their lives. I love that. And then Alaska. Don't ask me why, but I have this self-proclaimed love for Alaska. So yes, this goes on my TBR, which means that once again we finish the month with 4 books on my TBR. However, in addition to this, I also need to finish The Flight, and I also need to read these other 2 from last month. So we go into October with this. Jesus. And we also go in October with many more seasons of Grey's Anatomy still to be watched. So, will I be able to read anything at all in October? It's not that I'm not able, it's that I haven't been wanting to, and I don't want to force myself, because it's fine. Just because you are a reader and you love books and you want to buy more books doesn't mean you need to actually read them. It's 2 separate hobbies, and you don't stop being a reader just because you're not feeling like reading at certain times in your life, even if it lasts months and all you want to do is watch Grey's Anatomy. Everything is okay. Just accept and love yourself the way you are. Okay? Okay. Like I was saying, I don't know if any of this is going to happen, or if I'm going to end up October without reading a single page. I don't know, but I'll check in with you again on this amazing board game that I created. Once again, let me know any suggestions for the title of this board game, and we'll do it again for November, and I'll let you know how October went, and wish you luck!